We are in a poll cycle. It is concluded in Madhya Pradesh and the second phase is also concluded in Chhattisgarh. There has been one tragic incident of violence. But beyond that, the Naxals, as they have failed for a long period of time, have failed to have an impact on this election. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is a fascinating exercise, okay? All elections are, but the one in Chhattisgarh is acutely interesting because right before the election, what would tantamount to massive scandal of the Mahadev app was unleashed into the poll cycle. Arrests into the hundreds have been made. Momentum matters in politics. Has Bhupesh Baghel done enough? A person who's held the Congress bastion for 5 years at a time when there was nothing. Remember that before him, it was unbroken for the BJP for 3 terms. For 3 whole terms, unbroken. So can he turn that around, or indeed has the BJP pulled one back? We don't know. There is a contest, remember, happening in Rajasthan also. If you speak to the politicians, they also don't really know, although publicly they'll have to say that they're all confident. But the honest truth is, right now, nobody knows where Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh is going. It's close. So who's going to surprise us one way or the other? Let's have this conversation. Joining us on the broadcast, I still have Vandana Tripathi of the BJP, Yash Srivastava of the Congress. Alok Mehta is joining us, editorial director of the ITV network. Akil Khan is still with me in the studio. Before that, let me hit with my reporter on the ground, a pulse of what is taking place. Deepak is with us. Deepak, now that things are winding up, वोट मतदान की समाप्ति हो गई है, वहाँ पर आपको मुद्दों का पल्स क्या दिखा आज? लोगों ने क्या बोला, उनके मुद्दे, उनकी लफ्ज़ पे क्या थे आज?
देखिए, तमाम चीज़ों की चर्चा थी और सबसे महत्वपूर्ण बात जो लगातार हम बता रहे हैं कि छत्तीसगढ़ में चाहे सरकार किसी की भी बने, चाहे वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी हो चाहे कांग्रेस हो, लेकिन यहाँ किसान की जीत हुई है। दोनों ही पार्टियों ने बम्पर पैसा देने का वादा किया है। एक जो पार्टी थी वो पैसा दे रही थी, दूसरी ने भी वादा कर दिया कि हम प्रति एकड़ 20 कुंटल खरीदेंगे। दूसरे ने भी कह दिया, दोनों ने पैसा देने का भी वादा कर दिया। तो अब सबसे महत्वपूर्ण बात यह है कि जिस किसान की बात हो रही थी, उस किसान को पैसा देने का वादा दोनों ही पार्टी ने कर दिया। इसके इतर यदि समझा जाए तो एक ने लक्ष्मी वंदन योजना और एक ने मातृ वंदन योजना शुरू कर दी, जिसमें महिलाओं को पैसा देने की बात कर दी। इसके इतर प्रधानमंत्री आवास देने की बात भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने कर दी। इसके इतर यदि बात की जाए, जिस पीएससी घोटाले की चर्चा की जा रही थी, उसकी बात कर दी गई। तो सबसे महत्वपूर्ण बात यह है कि मुख्यमंत्री भूपेश बघेल ने 2018 में जिस मैंडेट के साथ सरकार बनाई, आते स्थिति ये हो गई कि हिलौरे खाने लग गई है सरकार। ये इसलिए कह रहा हूँ क्योंकि जो मौजूदा दौर था उसमें तमाम तरीके के आरोप लगे, तमाम तरह की चीज़ें हुई। हालांकि इसका दूसरा पहलू ये भी है कि तमाम वरिष्ठ पत्रकारों से या राजनीतिक जो विश्लेषक है उनसे यदि आप बात करेंगे तो इस बात को बताते हैं कि जिस तरीके का काम किया जा रहा था, जिस तरह की बात की जा रही थी, चाहे वो ग्राम स्वराज्य की बात हो, चाहे वो उस ग्रामीण परिवेश की बात हो जिसकी चर्चा लगातार की जाती थी, लेकिन उस पूरी चीज़ों को किस तरीके से एग्जीक्यूट कराना था, उसके इतर तमाम सारे आरोप, महादेव बैटिंग इसमें सबसे बड़ा कारण है। तो इन तमाम चीजों को लेकर जब मतदाता पोलिंग बूथ में गया तो उसके मन में क्या था, वो एक बार समझ लेते हैं। सरकार की उपलब्धियां तो एक तरफ हैं, इसके इतर एक और चीज देखने को मिली। तमाम घोटालों का जिक्र था, महादेव बैटिंग ऐप का जिक्र था। क्या लगता है, बैलेंस बनाने की कोशिश हुई है?
बैलेंस बनाने की तो बहुत कोशिश हुई है, पर जितना होना चाहिए उतना नहीं हो पाया होगा उन लोग से।
उतना काम नहीं हो पाया
जी? नहीं।
ये बताइए कि महादेव बैटिंग ऐप का जिक्र हुआ, करप्शन के आरोप लगे, उसके अलावा सरकार की तमाम उपलब्धियां थी। क्या लगता है, बैलेंस बना है?
कुछ लगता है बैलेंस बना है, और आगे अगर हमारी और सरकार फिर से पुनः आई तो शायद बैलेंस बराबर हो जाए।
बैलेंस बराबर होगा। सरकार की उपलब्धियों के साथ एक और चीज भी थी, सरकार पे भ्रष्टाचार के आरोप भी लगे हैं।
जी,
सर,
लेकिन सर अभी आरोप लगे, अभी तो साबित हुए नहीं। अब देखिए आगे क्या होता है।
एक बात बताइए मुझे, सरकार ने उपलब्धियां गिनाई अपनी, चाहे वो आत्मानंद हो, चाहे गांव गरीब किसान हो, तमाम चीज़ें हो, लेकिन सरकार पर आरोप भी लगे। क्या लगता है, जब आप मतदान करने गए तो आपके दिमाग में क्या था?
सर देखिए, राजनीतिक में आरोप प्रत्यारोप एक दूसरे पर लगते रहता है। और सरकार जो बीजेपी की छोड़िए, जो कांग्रेस की जो भी सरकार आई, सरकार के आते ही 3 साल तो अपने कोरोना ने ले लिया, रह गए 2 साल। 2 वर्ष में जो विकास हुआ है वो आपके सामने है, आप देख सकते हैं। हमारे पीछे जो खड़े हुए स्कूल।
एक बात बताइए, आप क्या करनी है?
मैं पढ़ाई करती हूँ।
कौन सी क्लास में?
11।
11 तो पढ़ती है। सरकार का काम कैसा था?
अच्छा था।
अच्छा था, मजा आया। डॉक्टर रमन सिंह का काम याद है?
नहीं।
रमन सिंह का काम याद नहीं है, कुछ और लोग हैं। मुझे एक चीज़ बताइए, सरकार को जिस तरीके से मैंडेट मिला उसके बाद तमाम चीज़ें हुई, सरकार की उपलब्धियां भी हैं, उसको नकारा नहीं जा सकता, लेकिन उसके इतर तमाम आरोप भी थे, चाहे महादेव बैटिंग ऐप हो, चाहे घोटाले हो, चाहे शराब, तमाम चीज़ें थी। क्या लगता है कहीं गलती हुई है?
देखिए, आरोप तो लगाए हैं ये लोग, और आरोप लगाना राजनीति में बड़ा आसान है, सिद्ध नहीं कर पाए ये लोग। रही
कैसे
बात,
सिद्ध नहीं कर पाए? आईएएस जेल चले गए, तमाम नेताओं के ऊपर लगे, और कैसे सिद्ध होता है?
देखिए, आईएएस जेल चले गए, इनके शासनकाल में भी आईएएस जेल चले गए थे, है ना।
मैं शासन की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मैं एक चीज ये समझना चाह रहा हूँ, जिस जनता जनार्दन ने वोट किया था वो क्या सोच के गया था, मैं ये आपसे पूछना चाह रहा हूँ।
भरोसे की सरकार, पिछले 15 साल भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार रही। इन्होंने किसानों से वादा भी किया और इन्होंने जर्सी गाय भी देने का वादा किया। तमाम
वायदों में कितना दम था? वायदों में कितना दम था? एक बात बताइए, आप भी बताइए। एक बार इधर आइए, मुझे एक चीज बताइए, इस बार जब मतदान करने गए तो दिमाग में क्या था?
दिमाग में हमेशा विकास रहता है। कहीं पर भी किसी को अगर हम मतदान दें तो हमारा मत का जो हमने जो दिया हुआ है उसका यूज़ अच्छे से, और हम जो चाहते हैं जो सुविधाएं, जनरली जो सुविधाएं होती है वो सुविधा हम लोगों को मिलनी चाहिए। लेकिन अब ये किसके लिए होती है? जो लोअर कैटेगरी के, हम मीडियम स्टैंडर्ड के लोग हैं, हमारे लिए किसी भी चीज़ों में हमारा वो नहीं होता है। हम टैक्स देते हैं, हम सैलरी लोड हो गए हैं, हमारे लिए कोई फैसिलिटी टाइप का कोई किसी भी पार्टी में उसका एजेंडा रहता ही नहीं है।
मतलब आपका ब्रैकेट उस सरकार के एजेंडा में, संकल्प पत्र में, घोषणा पत्र में नहीं रहता है।
ज्यादातर हम बॉटम या तो अपर लेवल पे रहेगा, तो वहां पर हम लोग फिर भी हम लोग एक ये सोचते हैं कि जो कैंडिडेट देख करके या एक पार्टी देख के जिनका राष्ट्र हित में बातें होती हो या जो हमेशा विकास की बात करते हैं उस टाइप में ध्यान में रख के करते हैं।
देखिए, एक महत्वपूर्ण बात है, एक महत्वपूर्ण बात यह है कि जिस तरीके से जो मिडिल क्लास है वो लगातार अपनी चीजों को, अपनी समस्याओं को बताता है, और यहाँ भी वही बात है कि
on the woes of the token woes of the frustrated, or I would say perennially frustrated middle class, that nothing ever comes our way. Let me just take this conversation over by putting some facts on record. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go back 5 years. Unbroken 3 terms of a Bharatiya Janata Party government, broken at a time when Ajit Jogi had just rebelled from the Congress. The Congress vote share only went up by 2.5%. The BJP vote share went down by 8.5%, of which Ajit Jogi was responsible for 7. So the Congress didn't benefit, but that 2.5% vote share difference for them resulted in a thumping victory. They won 68 out of the 90 seats in the assembly. So Bhupesh Baghel had the mandate for 5 years. You can argue that whether the Congress figured out the leadership struggle between him and T.S. Singhdeo or not, but he had the mandate for 5 years. Has he delivered enough to have pro-incumbency, or indeed is he in trouble? Let's open up this conversation. Let me quickly get Alok Mehta into this. Alok ji, what's the buzz, sir? All the information that I'm getting suggesting that even the politicians aren't very keen to stick their neck out when it comes to Madhya Pradesh or Chhattisgarh. Is it genuinely close?
Rishabh, I think it's very difficult to predict because, depend on the tribals and the women, how they voted. Our reporters are there, the number of media people are there. But what I feel, because, this time, the tribals, last time they voted for Congress. Now they are thinking, especially tribals in the BJP and RSS were working very strongly in the tribal area. To depend on the Naxal affected area. Those people who benefited during the Raman Singh regime, they were still feeling that no, we wanted same thing what BJP was doing. So depending on the women voters, and because the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, certainly Priyanka Gandhi also went there, the Congress party and Baghel also tried to please everybody. But the major point, Rishabh, because you discussed very serious issues, is tribal leadership. Because I was following since long, since 72, I can Tamachal Shukla joined Madhya Pradesh. Later on, Ajit Jogi became the Chief Minister. Motilal Vora from there. So originally, Shukla, Vora and Ajit Jogi was originally from these people. But no tribal leader Congress party, Arvind Netam, because he must be very old, but he was very good. When he was deputy minister in the Indira Gandhi days, I used to meet him. But Arvind Netam never got the chance to become a chief minister. Ajit Jogi was not a state tribal. He said on the certificate also there was some problem, you know about it. So that is the tragedy of the Chhattisgarh. Because that's why I'm telling, depending how tribals are happy and the women are happy, this is going to affect the result. Certainly, because the ruling party, they also manage the media, frankly speaking. I know the experience of even the Bhupesh Baghel and the Ajit Jogi. Ajit Jogi used to dictate, even threat. His son is fighting against the Bhupesh Baghel, but certainly he was a real person who used to threat the media people also.
Okay, well,
so
Ajit Jogi
so you can't get the result.
not a factor in these elections for obvious reasons. So now, quickly let me get Akhil ji back into this conversation. Akhil ji, your thoughts on Chhattisgarh?
You see, I would say my opinion about this Chhattisgarh is that it is going to be won by Congress. Why? I should say that Congress has done some very good jobs for Chhattisgarh. There are some allegations about corruptions, of course, but overall, if you see, the performance of Chhattisgarh is very good, no doubt. But there are many things I would say that I have seen last time in the last debate. BJP spokesperson was telling about so many things about this analysis of votes and this and that. But you see, Aam Aadmi Party has come out with a very positive aspects of any elections, with Bidli, Pani, Shiksha, Swasth, Rozgar and Mahila Sashaktikरण. These are the aspects which every party now thinking about, but they are not following all those things because they have some history, some base that they have created. So public opinion they are influencing through those their past historical performances and their past position there. But the most important aspect in today's elections is Bijli Pani, Shiksha, Swasth, Rozgar and Mahila Sashaktikरण, which most importantly Aam Aadmi Party has come out with this kind of you see
so what are you suggesting, an Aam Aadmi Party government in Chhattisgarh?
Aam Aadmi Party has got some very good opportunity, no doubt. They are not going to get a majority, of course, but they have got very good influence on the public mind.
But the Aam Aadmi Party destroyed the Congress's hopes in Gujarat, and in fact, Arvind Kejriwal was speaking about Gujarat just earlier.
You see, Aam Aadmi Party is not meant for Congress or BJP. They have come out with their own agenda. They come
for
out
sure.
with their
They won
own,
Delhi, they won Punjab, and we know what's happening in the Battle of Delhi right now. And the Battle of Tihar Jail is also taking place. Whichever way you want to argue it, it's a very serious battle.
This is a very trivial things. You see, if you think about the corruption, 90% and 5%, there is a big difference, and that too not proved. It is not yet proved by any court, and
there only two people have ever been convicted, Lalu Yadav and Sasikala. Beyond that is, as far as I can see, is only politics.
Rishabh ji, anybody from Aam Aadmi Party has been convicted?
Sir, like I said, sir, I have only known two people.
Even Supreme Court has clearly told this case.
I don't know what happened to CWG and 2G and coal scam. I honestly don't know what happened to all these scams because they were a big high flavor just 10 years ago. Just stay with me.
I would say I have been very close to Aam Aadmi Party. I have seen since many years, and these all the false allegations just to divert the attention
I don't know either
of
way.
the corruption of BJP.
I don't know either way. I can only state the facts, and the facts are conviction rates in political corruption, the highest level, is very poor in this country. Okay, sir. Okay, you said your point. Let me get Vandana ji, because I got Yash first last time around. Vandana Tripathi, 3 terms of leadership in Chhattisgarh. Then something went wrong. It wasn't a close defeat last time around. It was an emphatic thumping win for Bhupesh Baghel. What lessons did the party draw from the defeat last time? Can you hear us, ma'am? What's the issue?
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Am I audible?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, ma'am. Request you not to turn your connection off, ma'am. Okay. Can you hear us? Okay, we'll try to get her back as soon as we can. So then let me go back and take the questions with Yash. Yash, in an election, yeah, ma'am. Okay, that's just stay with me while we were figuring out your connection. We'll take a minute to let it stabilize so that we can have a conversation. Yash, now let's face it, it is a close election. We don't know what's going on, and we know that again in Chhattisgarh, just a couple of % of the vote here and there is the difference between thumping victory and thumping defeat. It doesn't even translate into close context. What do you think that at the end of the day is what got you into power 5 years ago that you have doubled down on this time around?
Rishabh, since we were talking about these certain incidents that took place while polls were going on, I was reminded myself by myself of a certain set of incidents years ago. There was this Naxal attack when social workers like Mahendra Karma were lost. They left us. And sometime later or before it, about 100 of our Jawans were killed by Naxals. And during this incident, when Mahendra Karma died, Raman Singh ji was called by our Shivraj Singh Chauhan ji, and he said that I am with you. Now the question is, for what? Similarly, when our Jawans died in Chhattisgarh in that Naxal attack, I don't know if anything substantial came out of it. So when Amit Shah ji recently, a few years back, when he said that we have ended Naxalism in Chhattisgarh, there was an incident, at least one, shortly after. Now, when you come to Bhupesh Baghel ji, we have focused instead on Kisan farmers MSP, the education system and welfare for women athletes, as you could have seen in Rahul ji's Yatra, where he traveled in a general coach. So when we become people-centric, we also try to take people away from all these distractions, which eventually turn out to be unwanted activities. So that is how we seem to have gained our ground.
Okay, Yash, you're mentioning, of course, activists. Large part of senior Congress leadership was killed in Naxal attacks. Yes, tragically so. All right. Yes. So what had gone wrong for almost 15 years that the Congress couldn't really uproot Raman Singh for 3 times?
No, the question is, of course, I can give you that by we eventually broke the streak. But for me, the question would be, why was Raman Singh not in the political scene for the last 5 years? He had the streak, so he could have moved on with it. Moved on with the weight of his streak in the people. He could have spoken to the people, and he only shows up during the elections this time. Now he has given a couple of statements on various occasions. But where has he been all this time? That is the more important question. And also, in every election, any state election, any by-election, the only face that BJP currently has is our current Prime Minister, who is busy sticking a coin up his forehead. So, I don't know what will go right with BJP in the future, because they are betting too much on one face. And this phase loses the credibility.
It's been a winning bet
BJP goes down
for a long period of time. So, is this then a national level election? Was it about the semi-finals of 2024, or was it simply about Chhattisgarh?
No. To me or the Congress party, it is always to the people. Yes, this gives a preview of how the elections of 2024 will turn out, or possibly will turn out.
Okay.
But certainly the elections pertains to the Chhattisgarh people and their issues, and what we should and must deliver to them as incumbent party, regardless of whoever we are.
Okay, I'll take closing thoughts. Alok Mehta, it's a long way to go till December the 3rd. The political parties will be getting feedback over the next 24 hours on how it's gone. In your opinion, has this been uniquely state-centric, that given the fact that we are so close to a union election in just a few months from now, but it seemed like an all-out state election, both here in Madhya Pradesh, less like a national battle this time around? And does that then favor the Congress?
Yes, some extent for the mobilizing the people and the workers Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka, and everybody, they have tried their best. That's why I think for the 24, but BJP, you see, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Amit Shah, and everybody in Madhya Pradesh and in Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan also, they are doing in same way, very aggressively. And this time, that's why they were preparing for 24. They are aware that in Chhattisgarh they were facing problems. In Madhya Pradesh also, they had the very tough fight. That's why I think this is the tailor, or I should say the curtain raiser for them, how they can fight and what message they wanted to convey. You listen, the Prime Minister's speech, he was talking about even the Nadda. When he went there, he said, "We want Prime Minister again." So they were campaigning for next election, Lok Sabha election, not even the assembly election.
Yeah, fair enough. You could take this defeat. You can argue both ways that you need momentum in politics, just like you need momentum in cricket. But you can win every match in the World Cup and lose the final, hoping that doesn't happen. Okay. So yes, there is a larger game here, and yes, it is easy to argue that when it comes to Modi and the center, it's a totally different ball game right now. There's a different orbit operating there. You can well make that argument as well. I'm going to take 10 seconds quickly. Akhilji, you wanted to make a point, then I want to take a break. Akhilji, yes.
Okay. My point is that we should not fall into the paralysis of analysis. I have seen that BJP is always doing this kind of analysis, 2% vote, 3% vote. In fact, they are the ruling party. They should think about the whole country in the perspective of the country. But they are just making a local point all the time, and that too hiding the corruption. The most important thing is what is your intention. And I would say Arvind Kejriwal has given very good direction to the country that we should not play the politics of all this kind of game of percentage. There must be a clear-cut vision of any party. Those who are at the center, those are the responsible party, they must have that vision.
Would be very happy to see that vision
and
coming from the Congress party at the center, because the Aam Aadmi party is not going to have this at the central level, perhaps form the next government, a union government in 2024. But are they getting their ducks in a row better than the Congress in many places? You can argue, yes, they probably are, which is why they're probably under so much pressure. Politics is a fascinating beast, ladies and gentlemen. We are all part of it because we ourselves or people in our family go and participate in the vote. It's always unpredictable. This one is close. Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, even the politicians themselves will shy away from calling, even though in public they'll come and say, we are winning, they're always winning.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.